Hey traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Disney after the reported earnings last night, spiked on the headline, then as usual couldn't hold the greens as the Bob Iger started talking. The stock slid, but it wasn't a disaster. I've seen worse situations before, and I think this morning's lingering just slightly down, around 1%, maybe even a little bit less. Okay, so what happened? They beat on the metrics. The theme parks are on fire. The movies are also, great results in the movies. Black Panther, it was all over the news. So everything is chugging along, and unfortunately, everything means everything. Even the rhetoric around the traditional media delivery. And how they're losing subs, the cord cutters, cord nevers, etc. This whole situation. Okay, so Disney is trying to steer the ship around, but Wall Street has been not happy with how slow it's turning. Recently, they announced that they will cut the Disney content from Netflix, and content is king, as they say, and it's really true for Disney, because for kids, I don't think there's one kid on the planet that does not want to watch Disney stuff. And if they want it, the parents have to have it if they're able. There's no doubt about it. So regardless of how much it's going to cost, the subs will be a slam dunk, in my opinion, for every parent on the planet, not just in the US. So they will eventually figure it out. Meanwhile, they have to go through the ups and downs of sentiment on Wall Street. So you can see that this is the chart. This is a daily chart. We'll zoom out in a little bit. It had been testing. It had opportunities for upside potential. It still does, but it needs to break this neckline. It's not a hard line in this end, but it's around $103 per share. And it is a pivotal zone. If you look here, I put these, it's like a rock in a hard place. They can't, there are a lot of fighters of buyers and sellers down here and up here, so it's kind of like stuck. So it's hard to time the breakout. Although I'm optimistic for the long term that it won't get killed as far as the stock is concerned, I'm not as optimistic that they have the gumption to go ahead and break out. So I could buy the shares and hope it works out, or I could decide to play it, cancel that, a little bit more from the sense, okay, I'm optimistic, but I have more faith in the downside support than the upside potential. That would be my way of doing it. So instead of risking $103, $102 a share right here, right now, I try to use options in order to monetize this. So here's a view where this is a weekly view. It clearly shows the zones that between which it's stuck here and here, with a small potential upside from here to say here. So if it breaks out above 103, the target would be about 106 before it rests the first place. And then if they want to break out of that, because then they'll start drawing lines right here, and they say, okay, we have a trend line, a descending trend line opportunity, meaning if Disney, ooh, look at that, it matches colors and everything. So these are this would be another potential place to break out from if they keep setting higher lows, although this is a little poke lower here. But you see the spirit is there. All right, so this is the Disney summary is fundamentals are strong, although they're trying to shift into the new media. Bob Iger was very confident in the fact that, okay, they're losing subs from the traditional media, but they're going to be gaining subs for streaming at a quicker pace. He said that the bleeding from the old media is slowing down. Well, I'm not sure about that, but anyway, if that's the case, then there's nothing to be worried about. However, there could be a wrinkle. They're trying to buy Fox assets, and one of which is a stake in Hulu. And if that falls apart, I think it's a giant wrinkle. So be aware that if the headline comes out that I forget who's bidding on it. Anyway, somebody else is outbid Disney. So Disney has a deal in place, but if they get into a bidding war and they decide that it's too much for them to buy it, then they could have a setback there, and they would have to figure out plan B. And I'm not sure they have a plan B right now. So there is reason to worry, even the more reason to play it through options and not the stock itself. Thanks. Signing out. If you need to reach me, sellspreads@gmail.com. sellspreads@gmail.com.